Hey guys, today I'd like to take a look at another mask that I've pulled out of storage, out of a plastic bin that I have in storage. And as I did in one of my previous videos, I just want to start to take a look at some of the masks that maybe don't get a lot of attention, but could be interesting anyway. And this one is the 1996 Don Post Studios Dry Bones. Now, this mask, as you can see, is really not too spectacular. It's obviously sort of a corpse zombie type of character, but it actually received a full-page coverage in Lee Lambert's great book, An Illustrated History of Don Post Studios. And you can see that page here. I'll get back to this page and these photos in just a second. This mask was offered in the Don Post Studios catalog from 1996 through the 1999 catalog. So that's 4 years that it was available. As shown in Lee Lambert's book, he notes that it's interesting that it has the glow-in-the-dark tag on it. And in the catalog photos, here's a 1996 catalog photo of this mask. It has an asterisk next to the name Dry Bones, and then it points out below that these masks have glow paint. And this mask has glow paint on the eyes and on the teeth, as shown on this page in Lee Lambert's book. You can see it here glowing. And it is kind of interesting. This one does have the tags, as I like with my masks. This has the Great Cover-Up tag that says glow in the dark, and it is interesting, as Lee points out in his book, that the Great Cover-Up at this time was owned by a company called Party Professionals, who had also become the parent company of Don Post Studios a couple of years before. And as we all know, the Great Cover-Up and Don Post Studios are intertwined throughout that part of their history. This also has the Don Post tag and care sheet tag on it, and says here, Dry Bones. Now, this one I will show you once again. It actually was featured in 1996 on the cover of the Don Post Studios catalog, and here's a photo of that cover. And you can see in 1996 it was shown in the catalog as being green. This is the only year that it was shown as green, and I don't know if it was ever actually available in green, but in catalogs after that, here you can see it in 1997, and here in 1998, it was brown, just as this mask is. And now, this was, as Lee points out in his book, and here again is a photo of the page, it was available at some point without hair, or it came, production copies came without hair. And here in the 1999 catalog, it's shown almost completely without hair, although you can see some hair along the bottom behind the ears. And I really don't know when the hair stopped being applied to it. I have no idea. This one obviously has the hair applied, and I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that, as you can see on this mask, the glue is just terribly discolored. It's very brown where it glues the hair on to the latex, and it's really not a super great hair application, but it does though have a fairly good paint job. It's not completely terrible, but this was produced in China. And as you can see on the back, it says, you can't see it in this catalog or in this video, but it says Don Post Studios here, but it says made in China. And so, as a lot of the masks seem to be from that era that were made in China, they're thin, and it looks like the sculpt had potential, and it looked fairly good in the catalog photos. But the thinness of the latex over time, and it has what I guess I like to call it shaped like a potato, as many of the masks seem to eventually be. It just sort of has, doesn't have a lot of sculptural detail to it or form to it. It's just sort of more flat in its shape overall. But I don't think it's really too bad a mask. It's as I said, it's not necessarily anything spectacular, but it is featured in Lee Lambert's book and was on the cover of the Don Post Studios catalog in '96. So I think it is interesting in that way. Again, that is the 1996 Don Post Studios Dry Bones. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.